Graham Stephan, Jaspreet Singh, Jay Morrison, Kevin Pathrath, Earn Your Leisure. These are some of the biggest names in the YouTube financial space, and none of them are the name you need to know. The name you need to know if you want to invest in stocks and make money is EDGAR. Who's EDGAR? I'm EDGAR. I'm kidding. EDGAR is the electronic data gathering, analysis, and retrieval system. It's the database where publicly traded companies submit their financial reports. The SEC has this database that everyone can access to find information about publicly traded companies before you even purchase a single share of stock. And be sure to stay until the end of the video because I will tell you where you can find a bunch of this information and so much more for yourself for free. You can also use EDGAR to research mutual funds, exchange traded funds, variable annuities, and individuals. I've got a quick but hilarious story about why it's so important to research companies before investing in them. I wanted to invest ever since I was a kid and saw how people made wealth on the stock market. When I was younger, this is before smartphones and stock trading apps, I wanted to invest, but I would be told that I needed a minimum amount to invest, and there were fees and commissions associated with these trades. But with Robinhood and these other stock trading apps, the entire game changed. Because now the fees were gone and you could invest $5 if you wanted to. So a few years ago, I downloaded the Robinhood app and decided I was going to buy some stock, but had to decide which stock I was going to buy. Of course, one of the first things I should have done is to check out EDGAR. That's not what I did. I chose a company because I liked that company and because I shopped at this store. Do you want to know what the company was? The company was JCPenney. Do you know what JCPenney is trading at right now? It's not. As I look back, there was so much being written about JCPenney, and it was based on the information that was in their financials, the information that I wasn't looking at. I'd invested like $100, nothing major, but if it had done something like GameStop, I would have made a killing. Instead, I didn't just lose some of my money, I lost all of it. Every single cent. Even as the stock kept going down, I had opportunities to sell, but I wasn't doing the research. Eventually, the company went into Chapter 11 bankruptcy and the common stock was canceled. If you're someone who is curious about stocks, who already invest in stocks, or someone who just wants to increase your financial literacy, you need to know EDGAR. Let me just tell you about some of the information you'll find on EDGAR. The 10K, the annual report, is filed every year to provide a comprehensive look at the company's performance. This is a form that the SEC requires publicly traded companies to submit, and there's a lot of information they have to include. The company must provide a description of their business, which lets you know their main products and/or services and their subsidiaries. There's a section on risk factors, which may apply to the industry as a whole or just to this one specific company. The legal proceedings section discloses pending lawsuits. The section Directors, Executive Officers, and Corporate Governance provides the background and experience of the company's executive officers. And there's a bunch of other information in this report. In addition to financial statements, companies provide info about their organizational structure, the executive compensation, historical information, and more. In other words, this report will provide so much insight into the strength of the company. The 10Q quarterly report is a report that is filed 3 times a year. Why not 4 times? Because the 4th time it's replaced with the 10K. This report includes info related to financial statements, management's discussion and analysis of financial condition and results of operations, controls and procedures, legal procedures, and risk factors. The 8K major events report has material information, meaning this is stuff you may want to know before investing in a company. The importance of the 8K is something may happen between normal filing periods that investors and potential investors would want to know about, and that's the info this report provides. Most 8K disclosures are required within 4 days of the triggering event, which is obviously much better than having to wait 3 months for a quarterly report. Some of the info triggering an 8K would be bankruptcy, remember my JCPenney story? Buying another company or merging with another company, notice of delisting, and departure of certain officers, to name a few events. So if you've never been on EDGAR, feel free to go there right now at sec.gov. Click on the menu and expand filings, which will take you to EDGAR. In addition to the database, there's a wealth of information about how to navigate and understand EDGAR. And if you like this video and find it valuable, feel free to let me know in the comment section. And if there's specific information you want me to cover, let me know. And of course, don't forget that EDGAR has a lot of information, including financial statements, so I will be doing a future video on the basics of understanding those documents. Thank you for checking out the channel, and if you like this type of content, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's get to work.